In this video, we'll show you how to select position preference to determine where your ads will appear on the Google search results pages. In this video, I'm going to talk you through another campaign level setting that actually affects the entire campaign, or can have quite a drastic impact on your campaign and allows you to have even more flexibility about where and when your ads appear. So let me demonstrate this. Let's go into the keyword targeted campaign, Antique Tables, or rather what we want to do is edit settings, edit campaign level settings. And what we want is at the bottom left, advanced options, position preference. And to get a quick synopsis, so this feature lets you tell us where you'd like your ad to rank among all the AdWords ads on a given page. It's important to note that this feature only works on campaigns that appear on the Google network and its partners, not on the content network, which also includes site-targeted campaigns, but only on the Google network and with the top-level Google search partners such as Ask.com and a number of other ones. So let's enable position preferences. Click and save. Now it tells us position preference has been activated for this campaign. You may now request that your ad be shown for a given keyword only when the ad is ranked in a certain position among all ads for that keyword. Let me show you exactly what it means by that. Back to Campaign Summary, and let's start delving into our new campaign, Antique Tables, and let's go into the Antique Tables ad group, which is receiving the most activity. And we're now in the Antique Tables ad group and on the Summary tab. I'll show you how you can start seeing or where this change happens and how you can control it. In this instance, let's go to the Keywords tab, and this change is at the keyword level, so you need to go to Keywords Editing Views to make this change. So in this instance, let's click All Keywords and Edit Keyword Settings. And here's the standard editing view. And now you can see that extra options have been added. Position preference, highest and lowest. Now, if you want your ads to appear all the time, keep the highest as 1, which is the default, as you can see, and the lowest as 10 plus. But for example, this keyword is Antique Tables Broad Match. Let's say we only want our ad to appear in the top 5 results. So we can say 1 to 5. Then it would only appear in the top 5 results. But it's important to note that there is quite a bit of nuance here, and you may want to read the Google help about this because there are a lot of ifs and ands and buts on exactly when your ad will appear. For example, if I said 1 to 1, my ad would only appear in the number 1 position, but it would only appear when it was going to show in the number 1 position anyway. This doesn't affect my maximum cost per click, so if my ad was going to appear in position 5 on a search, and I had this as a setting, it just wouldn't display, because as well as having to display, it will only display if it matches my position preference. So 1 to 10 plus is everything, so your ad would appear all the time. For example, let's say the ad appears in position 6 on a search, and you'd selected 1 to 4. Then again, your ad wouldn't appear, whereas, importantly, if you said, for example, 5 to 10, and you were going to appear in position 2, your actual cost per click gets reduced, so you appear between 5 and 10. Essentially, if you're bidding under where you want to appear, you aren't going to appear at all unless you change your cost per click. If you're bidding above where you want to appear, your bid will be taken down. Your cost per click will be lowered so that you do appear in that instance. Google does specify that, For example, let's say you say 5 to 10. Your ad will generally appear around number 6 and maybe number 5. Generally, Google tries to put you near but not quite at the top of the position preference you choose. So if you pick 1 to 8, you'll probably wind up as 2 or 3. I do recommend that you read the Google documentation about this because, as I said, there's quite a bit of nuance about how this works, and Google doesn't guarantee that your ad will appear because you may not appear within the range you've chosen. So what's the benefit of this? Well, you may not want to appear right at the top of pages, so you may want to select something like 3 or 4 to 10 plus. Or you may want to appear right at the top of the pages, so you might say 1 to 3. Interestingly, 4 and below gets a lot less visibility because, for example, a number of Google partner sites only display results 1 to 3, so 4 and below get less visibility. So what are the benefits? In a way, it's a means of controlling your costs. If you only want to appear for certain searches, and you don't want to appear too high in the results, and maybe you've found that certain positions are more profitable for you for whatever reason, it's been said that the higher your ad appears, the more likely it is to be clicked on by impulse clickers rather than serious searchers. So lower in the results, you may get more motivated searchers and perhaps more valuable prospects. But obviously, it's up to you to decide that and calculate it for yourself. But it is something to bear in mind. So that's how you can edit and set position preferences, and let's change it back to the default 1 to 10 plus. And save changes. Actually, I didn't really make any changes, so that was unnecessary. Okay, the other way of editing is here, Edit Keywords, and you can also do this at the Summary tab, and Edit. And also, if we go to the Ad Group View level, we can, for example, click here and edit this. Excuse me, that actually was completely wrong, my mistake. Let's go back into the ad group. Okay, what I was trying to demonstrate is that one way to make the changes is what I just demonstrated in the Keywords tab. You choose the ones you want to make changes to and edit keyword settings as demonstrated. And the other way is editing at a text level. So here you can just click on Edit Keywords in the Keywords tab, and I'll come to the exact syntax in just a moment. Let's go back, or in the Summary tab, Current Bid, Maximum Cost per Click, Default 6 cents. If we edit there, it actually takes us to exactly the same view. Okay, here's the syntax. It's pretty straightforward, as you can see. It adds another column with 2 asterisks, and, for example, let's go to Antique Oak Table and say I want it to appear between 1 and 5 in the search results. So, Antique Oak Table, 2 asterisks. I don't want to change the default bid, so I'll just put a space, and then another column divider, 2 asterisks, and I don't want to change the destination URL, so another space, and another column divider, and now hash symbol or pound sign, and then I would say 1 to 5. And that's how you can edit in a text editing view, which you may feel gives you more control, and actually I can demonstrate that. If I actually disregard this and just go back to the ad group and Keywords tab, and let's go back, let's click on Antique Tables and Edit Keyword Settings. Let's quickly change the position preference. Let's say 1 to 3 in this instance. And save that. And you can see the exact syntax now by going to Edit Keywords. And again, I've noticed this happening with this feature of AdWords as well, or perhaps it's just happening to me a lot for whatever reason. Whenever this happens, your latest changes were not processed, I just click the back button and just try again. Edit Keywords. Now you can see that we're back at the text editing view, and that's the syntax. Interestingly, I seem to have added unnecessarily column dividers. It seems you only need to have one column divider and then the hash or pound symbol, and then where you want your ad to appear when it appears with searches for this keyword. Since this is keyword specific, when someone searches for antique tables as a broad match and your ad appears, then it will only appear in positions 1 to 3. So that's the syntax for that. So essentially, this feature gives you even more control of exactly when your ad should appear. In a way, if you're interested, if you just go back to Campaign Summary and the ad scheduling, if I edit settings for this campaign and go to Ad Scheduling Times, that feature allows you to decide exactly when your ad appears. This is a way to make some changes in that. Rather than appearing only at certain times of the day or week, you're now telling Google to only show your ads if your ad appears in a certain position when that keyword is searched for. As I mentioned, if, let's say, you're bidding $1 and you want to appear in position 1 to 5, and $1 isn't enough to get you into the 1 to 5 bracket, you won't appear for that search. Whereas if you're bidding $1 and that puts you in the number 1 position and you want to appear between positions 3 and 6, then your $1 click just for that search and that click is reduced so that you appear in the position numbered 3 or 4. So it's quite an advanced feature, and you'll need to decide whether it's right for you. As you can see, it's another feature of Google AdWords that gives you even more control of exactly when, and to a degree where, your ad will appear.